Okay. All right. Well, prepare yourself, guys. Chris, we're talking through the medias, and this is well. Well, I guess it's a why is that trending? Entertainment news. A little update here. So, breaking news today. A couple hours ago, it was just announced that the very popular since the pandemic, the streaming platform, the adult entertainment popular platform, OnlyFans, has just abandoned their whole, base of operation. Let's just be honest with you guys. Let's just be honest. This platform became super popular during the pandemic, in the beginning of the pandemic, when people needed to find an alternative to make money. A lot of people jumped on board. A lot of people got very popular through this platform. And after it reached a certain level, then you started to hear a lot of reports that to get, what am I trying to say? A good following, a fan base after the boom was a little bit harder than people realized. Like, a lot of people started jumping on board with the whole notion of jumping on this platform, this website, and to make extra money. But it seemed easy for some, it seemed harder for others, things like that. Now, OnlyFans made an announcement that they will be removing any explicit content from their platform. The thing that pretty much makes them what they are, as popular as they are, the main reason why. So the question is, why is this happening? And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. So first off, I'm gonna go and I got my Twitter up and I had it up here. Let me go back into the search. There we go. OnlyFans is banning explicit content. Okay. And I'm going to try to use my words carefully because sometimes YouTube is always a little bit funny about what people say sometimes. Sometimes I know TikTok as well. I'm also streaming live on that as well. So if you have anything to say to me on TikTok, hit me up on the comment section and I'll try to keep my head on a swivel. But let me read this article real quick for my YouTube followers. So if you're watching this, let's see. OnlyFans confirms the decision in a statement shared with input. Effective October 1st, 2021, OnlyFans will prohibit the posting of any content containing sexual explicit content in order to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform and to continue to host an inclusive community of creators and fans. We must evolve our content guidelines. Creators will continue to be allowed to post content containing nudity as long as it is consistent with our acceptable use policy. So whoever has any idea what the acceptable use policy is, let me know. And let's see. These changes are to comply with the request of our banking partners and our payout providers. We will be sharing more details in the coming days, and we will actively support and guide our creators through this change in content guidelines. Adding insult to injury, OF added that it remains dedicated to our community of 130 million users and over 2 million creators that have earned over $5 billion on the platform. When asked by input what would happen to the existing NSFW content posted to OnlyFans prior to October 1st cutoff, the spokesman noted the official statement is all we have to share at this. That is all we have to share at this stage. So that could mean that if you posted something, if you have some content or explicit content on there now, once October 1st hits, you could be, it could be wiped away. It could be gone. So that is interesting. That is interesting. OF brings its money and hand over fist with revenue estimating to reach $2.5 billion in 2022 on total sales of $12.5 billion. Normally, any other startup with that type of revenue would have no trouble raising money. Sells clearly, sells clearly, but banks are conservative and P companies, I won't say the word because I'm on TikTok as well, often struggle to find payment providers willing to do business with them. Being arguably the highest profile company in the industry, it's maybe surprising that OnlyFans allowed pornography content as long as it did. Another company that allows creators to change for their work, Patreon, ramped up its crackdown on adult content back in 2018 as payment providers turned the screws on it. These companies find it easier to ban content altogether than trying to find a solution that works for all partners. Because these platforms allow anyone to sign up, investors have reportedly been worried that minors could subscribe. Now that's interesting key. So they're trying to play it safe, I guess, or make content of their own. OF has been trying to raise money at a $1 billion valuation, and although it could be profitable without raising new money, the company has existing investors who want to sell their shares for a profit. Betrayal. OF has always shied away from promoting the adult content on its platform in favor of the SFW fare. It recently launched its first mobile app that's free of nude stuff. OF cannot offer its more raunchy content through apps on iOS or Android due to the App Store rules like Apple and Google. Makes sense. OnlyFans, if you know who said that, then comment. OF grew off the backs of SWs, S workers, who found a safe haven in the platform to change their fans for access to explicit photos and videos. Unfortunately, there remains a stigma in the world surrounding that. And OF empowering a new generation of entrepreneurs to run their own independent business and make millions doing it apparently wasn't enough to change the perspective. Interesting. Now, instead of looking like a positive force in the world, OF could be seen as betraying the people who got it where it is today. Makes sense. It turns away from explicit content could help it attract more upscale partners and investors, but S workers will remain, let's see, I gotta read that later, will remain in the underground economy where they've always been stuck as capitalism decides that their work isn't acceptable. Besides, let me scroll down. Besides OFs and Patreon, the microblogging site Tumblr also banned that in the interest of attracting advertisers. Adult creators are increasingly running out of spaces to make money on the internet that they have full ownership of. OF could get past this to be a successful creator economy platform to other types of content, but its reputation has been plenty solidified, ingrained as a go-to place for adult stuff. So good luck with that. I agree with that. And nobody else is watching on TikTok, so I'm going to shut that off because I'm about to get into it. And let's see. So let's see. And I'll go back live later on. Let me stop this right here. So what does it all mean? Let me see if I can find another article. That was input. No, that's the same one. What does it all mean? It's all from the same source. So let me just read what people are saying real quick. Let's go into the comment section. I like that. I like doing that. So first, let me give my opinion on this first. I do think it's a betrayal. It makes sense though, because a lot of it's like the argument with, like, let's say we're watching a movie and we're like, why can't they make this movie rated R? Why are they making Venom PG-13 or whatever instead of rated R, things like that? Why are they talking about making Deadpool PG-13 to make them fit into the MCU? They can just make these movies rated R. Well, the thing that makes the most money is the thing that's most family friendly. Whether you like it or not, or whether you feel like just seeing nudity or seeing blood will make a movie better, which it doesn't. It's just blood and nudity. The blood and nudity doesn't make a better story. So if you can tell the same exact story and crush it and do a good job with it and make it suitable for all viewers, like parents can bring their kids and things like that, you're gonna make more money. So they said it right there in that article. Why did they just betray the people that brought them to the dance? And during the pandemic, those workers, sex workers, were the driving force of what made them popular. They were nothing before that. They weren't even a blip. And then people started, championing it and going to it. A lot of people made a lot of money. There are people that are making crazy amount of money. Now it's kind of oversaturated. Now it's kind of hard for the most beautiful person to make any money off of it, right? But still, they say it feels like a betrayal. It is a betrayal. It is. But betrayal of who? Betrayal of you, the person who needs this platform to make this money, blah blah blah, to make this happen, or a betrayal of their shareholders. They are looking at it that way. They are willing to betray you to keep the banks happy, the shareholders happy, because just like this article said, there's still this stigma. They thought they were going to be the company to erase the stigma. Sex sells. Everybody watches porn. Everybody has sex. Everybody has the parts, and everybody knows it. So let's just stop acting like we're a bunch of little kids going tee at sex education class. But no. The old school powers that be were like, I don't want marijuana. This is a travesty. Those people still run the damn world. They're still the majority of the people. It don't matter if they're left. It matter if they're on the right. Don't matter but an R or a D next to the political title. They are still there. They are still alive, and they are still trying to shame everything. So that's why they're telling people to back away from. Don't invest in that. Don't if I find out that this bank is partnered with that filth, then I'm backing away. You're talking about billions of dollars that's probably being left on the table. So the first thing I thought of was Patreon, and I was glad I was confirmed when I read this article out, because Patreon has a platform where if you don't like. And if you want to follow us on Patreon and help support the channel too, I would appreciate that, because super chats but I'll appreciate super chats too. But Patreon gives more to people than, I guess, like, for example, YouTube would, because YouTube takes a bigger chunk out of a super chat than, like, say, a Patreon would, right? And OnlyFans has the same kind of setup. They give more to the content creators, and they were allowing adult content at the same time. So why did they do this? It's because if you're a creator of non-adult content and you want support on this platform, you're not going to really choose OnlyFans, because OnlyFans has that stigma of being a pornographic site. It might as well be Pornhub. So Patreon, if you're a YouTuber who just likes to talk about movies and things like that, like the way we do here talking to the medias, then you can have a Patreon page where your supporters can help support you on that. But wouldn't it be weird, though, if Tyrone Magnus had an OnlyFans site? Wouldn't it be weird if which they probably do, but that's what people are thinking. Wouldn't it be weird if you are a person who only talks about, like, movies or video games and stuff, and you have an OnlyFans page? Why don't you have a Patreon page? It seems cleaner, is what they would say. That's what they would say. And that's the stigma. As long as the powers that be still control the banks, then the investors are going to jump ship. That's how they feel. So is it fair? No, because you created this space. You let political pressure, religious pressure you out of what brought you to the dance. And if that was your only reason for doing it, then no, it's not fair. But this isn't show friends, it's show business. And it's not your business, it's their business. So the people who own OnlyFans have the right to do whatever they want to. I also find this interesting. There's another content creator named Kevin Samuels. He's a brother that's always talking to single women and explaining to them how what they do, what they should do, and how they should conduct themselves if they're trying to, get married or get a high value man and things like that. One thing that he is most famous for is a collaboration that he did where he like destroyed a woman who was an OnlyFans creator, and because she was like totally like banking on the fact that, oh, I'm so popular now and I have millions of fans or thousands of fans, whoever, like I'm making good money on it now. And this happened a few months ago, before this announcement was even, I mean, Kevin Samuels didn't know this announcement was coming, but this is what he said. He asked her straight out, this might not last forever. He was mostly talking about like her looks and your age and things like that. You're hot now, but what happens if when that changes? Or what happens if that site decides to stop, or it fails, or it ends, or if it changes and you can't make that money anymore, or they don't allow that content anymore? Just like her mentality was that will pretty much can never happen. It can never happen. And he was the first person I thought of when I saw this tweeted out. He was the first person I thought of. And the very first, I mean, he already had his show already set up. He's probably on his show right now talking about it live. I'm thinking about it, but the next 10 minutes he's about to go live. And I'm going to watch that live because I know Kevin Samuels is going to go crazy on this topic because he called it 100%. I bet you everybody is going to that video and commenting now. Kevin was right. And then she was very adamant about it. That will never happen. And I got this. It's like, he asked him straight up, what happens if the rug gets pulled up from under you? You don't own that site. So what happens if they pull the rug from under you? She didn't really have a good answer to it. I mean, a lot of people don't. But at the same time, I noticed that a lot of people who do use that site for explicit content, they also still kept their day job or something like that, because you never know. I know people who are using that site and they don't just, even if they get a little popularity here and there, they don't give up the day job. I want to do this full time, but I'm not going to quit my day job until this pays at least half of at least there's a certain number that I would need to see before I would like go that far. And thanks to now that the pandemic has slowed down and everything's pulled back, that number was it was getting there. I thought it was, oh man, this is it. This is happening. And it pulled back. I'm telling you. He called it. Kevin Samuels called it. The first thing I looked for was something that he posted, and he did it right on Instagram. He's been on this lately. He's been on this Game of Thrones kick where he references them a lot. He says winter is coming. He said he's been saying this for weeks. Winter is coming. When all this stuff that's been set up because of the pandemic, now the rugs are going to be pulled from under you by September and October. He called it 100%. He said, and then the first thing he posted after this news broke, winter is here. Whether you like it or not, this was the point that he was trying to make. You do not own this site. You use it. They could pull it away from you, or they could fail. What do? What do you do? I don't agree with their tactic. I feel like it's a betrayal. I do. I honestly feel that way. But it's their site. It's and on a business standpoint, I mean, they're gonna look at Bella. OnlyFans boosts nudity-free content with iOS and Android apps. The company is ready to break out of the NSFW bubble it's created for itself. Bella Thorne exploited that quick, didn't she? Got in, got out. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is betrayal. It's usury. It is usury. There's another example of something similar just happened in another thing recently. I like it. Oh, so when the Shang-Chi trailer came out and whatnot, people are now trying to boycott it because they're saying that they're bringing up the whole black exploitation thing that Awkwafina did in her early career, and it's like they're telling her that now that she's reached a certain level of popularity, she stopped doing it. You used it to get up there, and now that you're there, all professional. Now it's not. Now you too good to be. I also point this on to Miley Cyrus. You know, she didn't want to be typecast with Hannah Montana and her dad Scoop Boogie. So what did she do? Got with Lil Jon and started acting towards twerking and acting the fool. The second she got a certain amount of popularity, done. She left it. This ain't new. This is not new, people. People, this. It's like I said. It's not, like they said. It's not show friends. It's show business. And these people are snakes, man. I used to joke on this channel all the time that I'm not like those dudes out there who constantly like try to bash on Brie Larson because it's gonna clickbait everybody and make everybody give. It could give me some fast money. And I always joked. I said if the YouTube gods came down to me right now and said if you hated, I know you love Chris Hemsworth, but if you hated on Chris Hemsworth every day, you'll make $1 million on YouTube. I'd be like, I'd skewer his ass if you can give me that guarantee. That's the game. That's the game. That the OnlyFans played the same game too. They used the sex workers and whatnot to boost themselves, and they saw an opportunity, and then they got boosted during the pandemic, and now they pulled the rug from under them. And Kevin Samuels predicted that whole thing. He didn't even know it. I'm like, he's not a soothsayer. He just asked a what if question. Ma'am, what if they pulled this rug from under you? And her responses were as if it could never happen. And I'm gonna look that video up, and I'm gonna look her up, and I'm sure everybody who's a follower of Kevin Samuels is gonna be doing the same thing, and they're gonna ask her that same question. Now what? Because Kevin was right, and I'm sure she's got an answer for it. She's very popular. People are going to be able to create their own sites or pull their followers. They're gonna find an alternative here and there, but the powers that be, those scary bankers, those people that still control all of it, they're still there. They are still there. And they're not, if as long as they have the biggest piggy bank in the pile and they can threaten companies like that, 9 times out of 10, the company's going to side with them. They will throw you under the bus. They will use you. So you get them to the dance, then they will throw you under the bus. It's the hustle. A lot of y'all I'm telling you, man, I feel bad because the stigma needs to end. I mean, everybody's an adult. Everybody's got these body parts. We need to stop acting like little babies about it, telling adults what to do with their own, in the privacy in their own house if they ain't hurt nobody. It's just stupid to keep that stigma on them. But now look, I'm telling you, man, the banks, those that they used you until they reached a certain level, then now they're trying to they're going to take what they took from those profits from those people. They're going to take that, throw them under the bus, and try to squeaky clean this whole thing. It isn't going to work, really. How? Like, you should, it would have, maybe, but it's going to take a long time. Patreon did it, 2018, that's what they're trying to do. They're going to try to attract musicians, other content creators like YouTubers and things like that. Go to OnlyFans and ask your fans to support you on that. Maybe I'll look at it and think about it. Maybe it'll be a better alternative than Patreon. Maybe not. But it's gonna be interesting. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'm very curious on how you think this is all going to play out. Do you follow Kevin Samuels? Did you see that? Go look that up, and then come back and comment on this. Let me know what you guys think about this. The whole betrayal. If you are a content creator on that site, I want to interview you. I want a panel. I want to discuss this. How do you feel? What's the next move? What's going to happen with you now? What you going to do? How do you feel about this news? I want to talk to as many as I can. Male, female, don't matter. I don't care. Whatever you use. I don't care if you use it for explicit content. If you don't use it for explicit content. If you use OnlyFans for slightly explicit. If it's for a fetish thing. I don't care if it's feet. I don't care. Whatever you use it for. If it's working, it's working. If you like it, I love it. But I want to talk to the people who are on that site and get your opinions about this breaking news and what's the next step for you. Because like the man, he called it. He said winter is coming, and now winter is here. That's all I got to say about it. So like I said, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to check out the live show every week. We're still trying to expand. Like I said, there's been a pullback from our progress that we've been making. Now that the pandemic is kind of slowing down, but it's been we're still trucking along. So hit the like, subscribe button. Let us know what you guys think at all times, and let's just keep talking, guys. And until next time, peace.
Our supporters help make all this content possible.